Hey, what's up, fam? Wasn't long before Oda completely destroyed the tension that you built up over the last couple chapters. I mean, if you watched a couple of my last reviews on the One Piece chapters, you'd know that I didn't like how Luffy was just completely one-shotting everyone that he was coming across with like third gear attacks, and I was like, why even introduce these guys if they're that weak? If they're that much of a non-factor that Luffy can cat just destroy them with normal third gear attacks. At least a couple. At least have them a couple attacks. At least make it so like it hits them and does a lot of damage. But to completely just one shot him that heavily, I still think it's pretty goofy. You don't need to bust out a King Kong gun every single time he runs into an opponent, but still should be making every guy that he every dude that he runs into at that point just complete trash. But then he gets completely put in his place by Kaido, and I thought that was cool. Luffy thinks his crew is dead. He gets completely humbled. He's been wrecked. Then you see him like walking behind the guy who's transporting him to a prison cell, and Luffy's like in sea stone cuffs. He's bandaged. He's just completely screwed. He's been put in his place. This guy who wants to challenge all these Yonko is just had his first real taste of a Yonko because fucking Blackbeard not at the time obviously wasn't as big as a threat, and Big Mom is a joke. But Kaido just smacked him once and he was down. And you'd think with all these things kind of stacking together, he thinks his crew's dead. He's been put in his place. He's in prison. He's in his cuffs. He's just not doing too great. That Luffy would be more serious, but instead the chapter is more about him like he's competing with Kid to get food. I hated that part. I use this panel. Usually I use ones that I really enjoyed, but I really didn't like this one. And I said reason why. I mean, the first part was fine. You see like all these samurai, they're kind of getting built up. You see what some of the people amongst Luffy's crew are doing. Nami's doing like learning to be like a ninja, which even though I don't like looking at that chick ninja with her big head, I always really like those getaway kites that the ninjas use throughout like Japanese design. I always like seeing it. Doesn't matter what series it's in. I like seeing just like the idea of somebody pulls out a kite and has uses that as a getaway like that. I always thought that was really cool. And sadly, Sanji is stuck back as a cook. He's gonna forever be beta within Oda's mind at this point. I don't know. Is he? Hopefully, maybe he'll get some moments fighting somebody big this arc instead of spending a whole another arc cooking. I know that's his primary thing within the crew, but man, he used to be such a badass. But with what we saw with Luffy and Kid, just the tension kind of put together. Luffy thinks he thinks his crew's dead. He's in prison. He was kind of humiliated on the way over there, put in his place, and it's kind of all silly. And then the guys in charge of the prison just seem so incompetent and so dumb. I mean, the point where they're like, man, he's lifting these big blocks, and he moved 500 of them even with the sea stone cuffs on. Oh my gosh! And how are they that impressed by it? And yet they're supposed to be big deals. Like it's been 3 days. Why hasn't somebody said, hey, maybe we need somebody there that isn't gonna get one shot? Like, come on, what's up with this hippo guy? Why is he so incompetent? These guys with their cuffs on utterly annihilate him. Whether he was, it doesn't even look like they. For a while, I thought maybe they hockeyed him unconscious, but it looks more like he was just beaten up. I don't know. It's goofy. It was really goofy. It shouldn't have been that way. It was annoying that even with all this kind of potential for Luffy to be in much more like a serious state, really be like, I don't have time to goof around. Like, I need to get out there, see if my crew's okay. I need to do these things. I need to, act like a captain for once instead of being like, well, I'm going to be goofy and then reveal the incompetence of some of the Kaido pirates. These guys are running this prison and saying, hey, maybe we should get security that can deal with these guys, and we can't even deal. They can't even deal with them with the sea stone cuffs on. I mean, come on, that's dumb. I don't know. I figured like this kind of stuff would be happening maybe in Act 3, but I was hoping Act 2 would at least feel that kind of down area where it's like, man, things are not looking good for them. But it looks like we're immediately in. Luffy's back to being kind of on top. Like holy shit, what are these guys gonna do if he can somehow get those sea stone cuffs off? Then he's just gonna walk around like flicking these fodder. Like these guys are nothing. It's so dumb. Like stupid hippo guy, really dumb hippo guy. I don't like looking at you, hippo guy. Anyway, tell me what you think about this chapter in the description. I'm annoyed by it because I liked the last few chapters. And I've said it before. I don't want to be bad about chapters. Like I like the Reverie stuff, and that's why the only reason I started doing One Piece reviews. Like I'm in a really positive spot with One Piece. I want to review it, so people just like if I talk about it, they don't think I just hate on it. I'd rather like it. I really liked it up until the time skip, and the time skip has been just so wonky. And like this arc has already been very up and down, and like right now this chapter shows a down. Hopefully, it gets back to more serious stuff, and Luffy not just taking everything as such a small factor. He should be furious right now. He thinks his crew's dead, or at least like heavily hurt. He doesn't know what's going on with them, and he's in jail. Ugh, that's dumb. Anyway, like I said, tell me what you think about this in the description below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Check out my other videos. If you're already subscribed, appreciate it. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening. Bye.